Good evening, future Plainfield East Bengal families. This is Coach Hart here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Plainfield Boys Lacrosse Co-op. So I've been a part of lacrosse for about 5 years now. I started my career at Lockport, starting off as their JV head coach, and then I made the move in 2019 to Plainfield, which I was very excited about, and took over as their head JV coach. And then in 2020, I was asked to be the head coach for the program. Was very excited to start the season. Obviously, it got canceled, but I can't wait to pick it up here in the fall or in the spring and summer. My coaching philosophy can be boiled down to a very simple concept. I'm out here to make the best human being possible and to give them the best tools possible to succeed, not on the lacrosse field or even in school, but in life in general. Um, I really focus on these four areas because I think those are what make an athlete successful, not only on the field and in the school building, but in life and at the next level. Um, and this is what we push for. And as you see when we go through the practice breakdown, um, there is time, and we actually do spend time focusing on these skills as well as the skills of the game. So just to give you a breakdown of our program. Um, for starters, these are really the basic player expectations. You'll get more specific ones at our fall meeting, parent meeting. Um, but these are really the biggest ones. I need coachable players, I need fearless players, and I need people who will be a team. Um, we have, especially that last one, we are all four schools. Um, and though that brings about some challenges, at the end of the day, it's really we are one team, one playing field, um, and I really try to instill that we get the opportunity to not be four different schools, but one unit representing a great community like Plainfield, and so that's our biggest um, emphasis. But the other two are still very very important. In terms of accomplishments, we've had a lot of commitments these last couple of years. This year, I already have three, and there could be a couple more coming. Two to Lewis University, one to Concordia. Um, Last year, we had three commitments. Two of them to pretty big schools. Iowa, North Greenville, U of I. North Greenville actually is a very good lacrosse program. Um, so that's awesome, and as we keep pushing and growing, I hope to make those more and more. um, in 2019 we took third place in our conference against the other teams, and those teams are HF, Andrew, Manuka, um, Dunlap, a lot of good, very good big high school teams, and we competed with each and every one of them. And we're very close to entering the first and second place game, but we lost, I believe, to Andrew by a point. Um, and we've also made multiple playoff appearances since they've gone to the playoff model for lacrosse. These are the ways you can communicate with me. Twitter, we have the program one, which is at Plainfield Lax. We have my personal one, which is at the underscore coach underscore heart. Remind is also a big form of communication that you can join and communicate with me, as well as our Google site and our team app. On the next page, I have a QR code that will link you right to our website so you can look at more detailed information about our program and similar information to what's in here, but also things like costs and equipment and our team or our conference locations, things like that. So if you want to take a minute and pause here and pull out your phone and hit the QR code, it'll bring you right to our Plainfield Lacrosse website. Um, Again, with all this information and more. Our typical practices are, vary from day to day depending on what's going on. We compete with a lot of other sports at North to get field time and gym time and weight room time. But in a typical practice, we'd meet for about an hour, go over announcements and reminders. We'll do our character education stuff as well as our mental training and discussion on things. And then we get a lift in. After that, we go to practice. We'll transition out to the field. We get a warm up, passing, okay, riding and clearing, which I think is huge. It makes if you can ride and clear very well, teams get intimidated by that, and that just gives you another edge in competition. Then we'll break down by positions and do position group stuff, followed by some situational play, some man down, man up, um, taking it from out of bounds, taking it from the top of the key, all those different types of situations, 2 minute drill, things like that. And then we'll go to full play, which is um, full team. We're just going, we're trying to score, we're trying to stop them. Our typical season, we'd start in the fall, usually around football time. So like October, November, we'll have a parent meeting and registration. Open gyms will start in February. Those are at North. They're usually at night, sometimes 7, 8, 9 o'clock. Um, when the season gets started, we'll have an evaluation period because we're a no cut program. So we'll have an evaluation period for 1 to 2 weeks, and then we'll start our regular practices. Our competitions are usually 20-ish games. Um, the biggest point of emphasis is that there are no buses. Okay, parents and players are responsible to drive the locations. Our farthest destination is Dunlap, which is about 2.5 hours away. But we only play them like once. And then our game field is North. Our home base is North. Most things are done out of North unless one of the other schools provides us with a better time for practice. For the summer we usually will be at East because I coach football and boys bowling as well. So the summers are usually at East. We do 3 days a week of lifting and summer practices depending on availability, as well as what IHSA says we can and can't do. Those things kind of change from year to year sometimes. And our biggest thing is we get a lot of requests from True Lacrosse to have our own team. Um, and so I usually gauge interest toward the end of the season. If people and families are interested in pursuing that, and then I'll help facilitate that. But I can't be directly a part of that because of IHSA rules. So for why lacrosse, lacrosse has a ton of skills that just transfer from one sport to your main sport or to another sport. Running backs, trying to make cuts in the field and use and get those extra couple yards is the same thing as dodging. You're trying to make a player miss to go score, or, to go get a better angle at the goal. Our defense is very similar to basketball. Basketball and lacrosse defenses are very, very similar. Um, our linemen especially, our defensive footwork is very similar to pass blocking, um, and even some run blocking. So all these skills really cross over, and I think that's why that makes lacrosse uh, one of the greatest one of the greatest sports I think we have available for students. Um, I thought I played football my whole life, and never thought I would anything else would take that place in my heart. Um, but no, I've 100% fallen in love with lacrosse, um, and can't wait to for lacrosse season to start every year. So that's just a little bit about our program. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on any of our platforms. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you all in the fall, regardless of if you are playing or not. And I hope you have a successful rest of the school year. Thanks.